record means then it is not available for more people to view. So that's also in place, and we are also streaming it live on Facebook. So good evening, everyone. And I think almost all the audience here are female. So a very, very happy Women's Day, and welcome to Cygnia Healthcare. We call this a Cygnia Conversation. So this is not typical webinar or anything. This is kind of a chit chat. So on this Women's Day, the theme is, break the bias, or so I found three very enterprising women. I'm very happy that I found three. I found one name I got from a mail also, but unfortunately I could not get through to the person, so I cannot talk about that person. So finally I found our three guests over here. So I am very, very happy to, I'll just let me stop sharing this picture now so that I can bring in Ma'am Geeta. You're not on the video. So I must, as I invite them, I should just give a little bit of
Yes,
insight as to how I found them. Okay. So I sent a message in few groups, if you know of entrepreneurs. So I only knew Ajita because I've known Ajita for a long time. So like that, I got Madam Geeta's number through I think it was Urmila, who is a professor dean of Sharda University, who said that you should check out. Then I remember I have heard her name sometime before also. Then I called her, and then she actually told me that she started her being independent, running nursing home in 1999. I said, oh my God, that is really long time ago for me. So we are going to hear that story, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen a couple of gentlemen walking in. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to hear from her what was her story. So a very warm welcome, Madam Geeta. Thank you for being here, and a very warm welcome to this session. Incidentally, she happens to be my senior from my Holy Family, School of Nursing. So that gives me a lot of extra pride to invite her to the session. A very warm welcome, ma'am. And now over to Miss Meenakshi Gijare. I've known her for some time, and she's in Mumbai, and she's part of the larger group. Though I have not known her very closely, but I knew her name. So, how the story happened, I asked Ajita, do you know someone? Then she told me, call Snehalata. So I called Snehalata, and she said, no, ma'am, I am not an entrepreneur. I'm just doing here and there. So maybe you should check out Meenakshi. I think she started something. So then I realized, yeah, I see her, posts and advertisements about certain courses. So I called her, and then she told me that she has started this company along with her mother, and who is also a nurse, a retired nurse. So first, a warm welcome, Madam Maya, to this show, and along with your daughter Meenakshi. I'm very, very happy that you are here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we will talk about you in a moment. And last but not the least, I am very proud that Ajita is also here. So I don't know if I can say she is following my steps. I don't know, because when she came out of the army, I actually inducted her into corporate world, and that time itself I knew that she's different. She's very courageous. She's very bold, and I think her history is akin to what I had been thinking about. And now she also has become a nursepreneur. It's actually entrepreneur, but there is a new word called nursepreneurs. The nurses who become entrepreneur are called as nursepreneurs. So I'm very excited to have Ajita also on this forum to talk about your journey, etc. So a very warm welcome, Ajita. Thank you so much to all three of you for taking time to be here. Okay. So now I'm going to get into the conversation. So Ma'am Geeta, can you hear me? Ma'am Geeta, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. So what
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to
I can
do, yeah, I'm going to on the screen, I'm also going to put you on the speaker slot so that we have a better view of the speaker. That will only happen if the video bandwidth is good. I am not very sure. So let me pin you up and see. Yeah, okay. So, ma'am, I would like you to tell us a little bit about your story about how did you start your own, nursing home so many years ago, 1999. If someone told me that I will have my own business, I would have told, "Hey, no way, I will not have my own business." So, but I think by the time ma'am Geeta already started. So, ma'am, would you like to tell us about your story of that? How did you manage
hello,
to?
actually. Welcome to,
Ma'am, can you hear me? Your connectivity seems to be a little poor.
welcome to all of you. Bully.
Ma'am, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Maybe. Yes, ma'am,
Welcome to
we
all
can
of
hear you.
you who are the viewers and also to the ma'am. You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear
You
you.
can hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Actually, I was working all in the institute in a cardiothoracic department. After take took training from Holy Family Hospital, I was CPVS department in AIMS. Then I got retired. I took I went to USA for 1 year. I stayed over there, and then I came back because I didn't in GL Kapoor Hospital, Hospital in ICU as a nursing in charge. So there I worked for 15 years, and in 1999 I took VRS from the GL Kapoor Hospital, and then from 1999 till now I am working as an independent nurse in in a slum area. Previously, for 7 years, I was working in a small. I had a small unit of 3 bedded only, and there I was working. Then I earned money from there, and then I had built my own nursing home of my own of 8 bedded at present.
Fantastic.
Now I have a 8 bedded
So,
daily,
for
and it is
ma'am,
less than 1/3 of daily. And plus, I have NCP sensor.
ma'am, may I request maybe if
Yes,
you put off your video
center
for a
register.
minute, your audio will be better. Your voice is getting cut off. Maybe you can stop the
Okay.
video and probably your audio will get better so people can hear you better.
Okay. So I started my I took the registration of MCP center from the medical council, and then I started my own clinic here, 3 bedded, and now I have a 8 bedded. And
Okay.
in between I had some problem also when I had a 3 bedded nursing home. I mean a small setup clinic. I there was a council people came to me and they said that you are not allowed to practice independently without any certificate or anything. Then I went to register in the nursing Delhi Nursing Council, and there I talked to Surekha Samba. She was the registrar of that time. Then he has taken interviews of me for 1 hour, asking me all the questions for postnatal and antenatal and everything. 1 hour interview was taken by me, by her, and then after that I got through the interview, and then she has given me a letter from the Delhi Nursing Council that I am able to practice independently myself. So from
Okay.
1999, I got the letter from Delhi Nursing Council, and from that time, yeah, I got the letter from Delhi Nursing Council, and from that time till now, I am practicing in Yoga.
So,
Then I had
ma'am,
applied when I got this 8-bedded, yeah.
yeah.
When I had made this 8-bedded hospital, then I had applied in Delhi Nursing Council also. Indian Nursing Council also, and from there I got the authority to make a nursing home
So
from
I
my
think,
own. So
thank you
at
so
present I
much.
have a letter of Delhi Nursing Council and plus Indian Nursing Council.
Okay. Ma'am, we will come to the other side of, being the pioneer in starting something like that. We'll come to you in a moment. And thank you so much
Okay.
for sharing the story. I know here and there, maybe we lost connectivity. But let me tell you, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I think Ma'am Geeta is definitely, pioneer because 1999, I don't think that anybody would have thought. And even today, if a nurse has to start a maternity center or a nursing home, is it going to be easy? Is a question that we all have to answer. That also, she has started something in capital of India, and though she's catering to people of slum area, that's a different thing. That's a service by itself, and I think that's a higher level calling that I can see in Madam Geeta. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your story with us. We'll come back to you in a moment. So let me move over to Minakshi. Ma'am, stay back. I'll be asking you a question later. So I'm
I'm
going to
here.
go to ma'am. I'll come back to you with the question. Just be there, and you can put
Okay.
your audio off, and we'll come back. So now I'm going to speak to Minakshi now. So, Minakshi, over to you. So, we would like to hear your story. How did all this happen, and along with your mother's story, because she also is a nurse. So, I am very honored to have you here, ma'am, and so very nice to see you and see you supporting your daughter. So, over to you, Minakshi. Share,
Yeah,
how
thank
did
you,
your
madam.
journey to being an entrepreneur? How did that happen?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me wish all the lovely women, a very happy Women's Day. And it's really a proud privilege to be amongst all of you all. I can see many of my teachers, so pranam to all my teachers who are here, seniors, and I'm really excited to share my journey. Let me tell you, nothing can happen without the grace of God and without the presence of parents. And here is my motivation sitting next to me. When I passed out my nursing, the BSc nursing, she used to always tell me, we are nurses and we have to do something for the society. If we will work in a hospital or in a college, you will just, meet very few people and you will be able to, make difference in few people's life. But nursing is much beyond that. And she used to always tell me that, Minakshi, we should start a nursing home for paralyzed patient because that is something, which requires basically a good nursing care. So with that dream, like, we were thinking when to start, how to start, had lot of other, commitments at personal front. But when we saw, like when my dad passed away, we saw his last few days, and then we determined that yes, this is the time we have to start. So we decided to form a company named Chiku's Educare LLP. Now everybody wonders why that name Chiku's has come. Basically, we wanted something to start with C, and whatever names we were suggesting, my CA used to tell, this name is already existing. Look for something else. Look for something else. And at that time, my younger son, he just walked inside the room, and we used to call him Chiku as his pet name. So then out of a joke, I said, why not Chiku's Educate? So I said, why not? That's the name which is available. So, that way the name got registered. And when it got registered, we didn't know that, what we are going to do with that name. I spoke to him. He said, no, Minakshi, now the name is registered. Now we can't make a change. It will be difficult. So I said, okay, fine. And whatever said and done, when we started the company in 2019. And all of us know that COVID-19 also started in 2019. So our dream of starting a nursing home is yet to flourish. But In between, when I was also, I also suffered with long COVID and I was at home. And that was the time when children from my society, their parents used to say, these children don't have school, they are doing nothing. I wish something was available. So then this Chiku of mine, he really came into, a real workforce. He told me, Mommy, why don't you teach Vedic mathematics, which you always teach me, to my friends? So this is how the company's journey began. And I started teaching Vedic mathematics to school children. And that is one thing which is, going on very well. I have some students who are not only from India, but there are students from US also. Then I have 3 franchisees who are enrolled right now for that particular activity. And then I used to feel, okay, this is one activity which we have started. And mommy used to say, you are doing nothing in healthcare. What about healthcare? So I always had the 2 programs in my mind. The one was infection prevention, because wherever I used to go for NABH assessments, the first question that we used to ask is, does the ICN have the infection control program, which is certified program, which is offered by someone? And many hospitals, good hospitals, definitely do have good programs, where the nurses are enrolled. But small healthcare organizations, they really did not know what those things are. And I felt this is some area, where I can pitch in and I can, work on that. So we formed our board of studies, and I can see Madam Alka Kalambi. She is a part of our board of studies, and I had eminent people from industry who were in the board of study. And I really thank to my experience in clinical as well as in teaching, because Symbiosis, where I started my, of course, I was into teaching in many other places, but at Symbiosis, I held the position as a deputy director. And there I got to know how university functions and how board of studies are and how the new programs are launched, etc., etc. So then I thought, if we are starting on a small scale also, let's start it in the real academic way. So I had my board of studies, for the Chifu's Educare, and I'm really thankful to Madam Alka and all other members who were our, board of study members, who guided us on how to, go about with the program. The 2 programs in healthcare which were initially launched were, one was infection prevention, and second one was a postgraduate diploma in patient safety. Now, patient safety is another thing. That time I did not know that 5th edition is going to come and they are going to require a patient safety officer separately. But I always was passionate about patient safety, because I had done one mini research on patient safety during my tenure in Symbiosis. And I realized that nursing curriculum definitely lacks the model of patient safety. And there is a scope for, giving this program. And of course, with Madam Thangam's, lot of things coming up, I was thinking, wow, that's great. If Madam can do it at this age, let me try, let me put one step ahead and try and get into the industry. And thanks to, God Almighty, as well as all my colleagues who supported me, I have the second batch, which is running right now. And there is a huge group of hospitals, which, has come forward. And there is a tie with that particular group of hospitals. So I'm really feeling happy that, I'm able to give back something to my profession. Along with that, we have launched a program in CSST. It is, of course, again, COVID third wave came in between. So we had less takers for that program, but now again, it will go in full swing. And now our search for the place is right now ongoing, where probably Sunshine Returns will come back. That is one more product that we are going to launch, which is the original product designed by my mother, mainly, for the paralyzed patients, as well as now she is in geriatric age group. So she feels that geriatric population feels bored at home. So why not come up with, daycare center for geriatrics? And she, she's guiding me on how we can go about it and how we can do it. So that's about Chiku's Educare.
So that's a fantastic story, Meenakshi, I should say, and Ma'am Maya, that you are the guiding spirit behind her. So I'm very honored to meet you, ma'am, and the both of you together. I'm very sure the sunshine is going to shine bright in your endeavors for sure, and we would love to hear from Ma'am Maya also.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Some.
Hindi both. नहीं, I'll talk in English.
Okay, fine.
I have started my nursing in 1967 in Sion Hospital. Those days they were telling if the Brahmin caste nursing, who will do, and all these things. But still I got the interview, I passed there and I started. My PTS time was very good. All my colleagues were helping me in English because I am from village. So I was not knowing English. Still I tried and I wrote the paper also in English. From there my journey started. I have passed my 67. 1967 I passed my nursing and then started job also there in Sion Hospital. Which area I was liking to work in OT only because of infection and all that. So from there till 99, I have worked in OTs. All OTs I have worked. But I like mostly neuro because I have worked with Dr. Ramani and Ramani. They were very good with me and they used to teach me also why we are doing and all that. So I was very happy to serve the people in my life. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, thank you, and I am sure that whatever Meenakshi shared, that you are going to start a neurocare center or a geriatric center, whatever it is, may God bless you to realize all those dreams, and you can extend your experience and your desire to help them. I'm very sure of that, and we'll come back to both of you in a while. So let me move on to our last. Thank you, ma'am. Last guest, Ajita. So I kept you last, and probably you are the latest entry into being an entrepreneur, and I'm very sure I'm actually wanting to understand from you, for the benefit of all the people sitting here. Just summarize your career, and then how did you get into becoming an entrepreneur? You're the managing director of Hillbase, so we would like to hear from you. Yes, Ajita, over to you.
Ma'am, thank you so much on Women's Day to have this program, and participating in this itself is a great blessing. So heart-touching to listen to Madam Maya, and lot of things to learn from their generation, in fact, and great to meet Madam Geeta Saxena too. And Meenakshi, I have known during my Ruby holidays in Pune, and nice to catch up with her as well. And I can see a lot of my students here are so surprised to see that, and they are so excited. I get messages and nice to see everyone and share our experiences. Okay, my story of my company is quite young, not even completed a year. We got registered in the month of May last year, and I have a army background. Ms. Usha Banerjee was my senior, and graduated from AFMC Pune in the year 1992, and worked in army for 14 years, and took a premature retirement when it started little too much boring, I must say, because same thing over and over again, and I needed probably new things. And all those who know me were against me leaving service, because service is a secured job, and what we need in life is security. Probably that's what everybody thinks of. And then I met Madam Thankam, and that was in 2005 we met, and I joined as Madam Successor in Fortis Mohali in 2006. Early January 2006, and one of the greatest blessings I have had in my life was that 2 years which I spent in Mohali, and not only spending in Fortis Mohali, but being your successor, I must say, Madam Thankam, because whatever a person who is coming from a different background, a service setup would have hoped for to learn from was there in nursing department of that Fortis Mohali. And as it is, I have known Punjabi people being in service all the while, but living there has had the greatest impact on my life, I must say. The people, their behavior, approach, they are quite straightforward and very lovable people. And whatever relationship I have with any of the hospital which I worked, out of all that, those 2 years, that I can say that I have very close friends there, which many places I don't have actually, and great learnings from there. And be it infection control, be it medication management, be it patient safety, all that, whatever I know today, I have learned from there, in fact. So a lot of, my gratefulness is due to you, ma'am, actually. And okay, well, after that, I have been to so many hospitals. I mean, from Mohali, I'd come to Ruby Hall, Pune, 3 years there as nursing director. Probably I asked for nursing director's position, and that CEO said, "You're too small for it." And even including the salary. So I said, if you want to have me, this is my cost and this is the position which I want. And incidentally, my teacher was the nursing superintendent before there. Great teacher she was, Madam Sissy Cruz. And then he said, you are her student and you are asking more than what she has today. So I said, maybe next time when she'll come back in this chair, she'll be nursing director. And it so happened. So I don't know what made me say so. I was 37 at that time and I was too small. That was true also. But well, I mean, I felt if somebody has to have the guts to ask something, to get it also. Being in civil, we had more liberty than being in a uniformed setup. Well, 3 years I spent there, and then again Fortis called me back. Rather, Madam Thankam was the group nursing head there, and she called me back when the new hospital in Gurgaon started. Yes, I joined there and spent 5 years there. And maybe at that time I had a home calling, so I thought I'll rest of some time I'll at least spend in Kerala, because I have an aging mother, and I thought, I should meet her more often than otherwise. So that's why I landed in Kerala, worked in 2-3 hospitals in Kerala as nursing head. Then I had an opportunity to work in a hospital as a chief operating officer. So working there as the person responsible for PNL performance and overall the hospital performance. And that time was the COVID first wave happened, in fact. So this was a hospital by name Avaitis in Palakkad, and Palakkad incidentally is the largest district in Kerala and not so populated place. Very beautiful place. Whatever. All the movies are shot over there, and but all said and done, this is one of the backward districts as well, because there is a small industrial place, but otherwise it's agriculture background. And I happen to interact with a lot of hospitals as part of this first COVID wave thing, because private hospitals were not entertaining COVID patients. Government first of all said not to entertain, and we had a lot of issues and fear, and say COVID, and the entire village used to be vacated out of fear of COVID and things like that. So I happen to interact with a lot of hospital heads around there. So okay, all with the difficulties of having COVID, but what I realized was that all those hospitals are not, there is no corporate hospital over there, and small sized hospitals, and probably middle income, and all of them are struggling. Okay, all of them are struggling to survive. And then I realized that in private sector things are not so bright, and I only had this exposure to big brands and well-off hospitals where a lot of luxuries there, if I may look back. But here are hospitals, and mind you, most of the hospitals in our country are struggling to survive. They are trying to sort of meet the patient care requirements, the healthcare requirements of the public, because whatever said and done, government facilities are very inadequate, and it is supported by the private sector. In fact, committed doctor-owned hospitals, I must say. And though healthcare of the people is state government's responsibility, as it is in our constitution, but it does not happen as it is envisaged to be, or they do not take enough responsibilities. And of late, last 10 years or so, there's a lot of animosity also towards the private hospitals. So for anything you have to go and beg them, there's a lot of corruption, and they find fault with the private sector hospital. So, the environment is not so conducive to run a hospital, in fact, and we are facing the problem of manpower crisis, the resource crunch, a lot of it. And coupled with the inability to run a hospital because of the technical know-how is lacking for those who run the hospital. Okay, be it principles of management, principles of business administration. They have not even heard about P&L, let alone calculating the expense and the income. Income, of course, people count, but how much they spend, they have no clue, because there is no way to, it is all, they purchase, they spend it. Where it goes, nobody knows. So there is no accounting, proper accounting system. So I have, heard this, vows of so many people that they are struggling. And then I thought, and these corporate hospitals, they can hire people at whatever cost, market cost, and, have their own business set. So hospitals are making profit, but only those hospitals who follow proper business principles. It made me think a lot that, is it only the right of people who can spend money on, these people can run the hospital and make profit? The others don't have the right for at least surviving, because these hospitals are the ones who are providing healthcare to the masses. Other hospitals, only those who can afford can go, right? So this made me think so much, and it is not an offshoot decision to, quit a regular job where you have regular pay, you have an office to come in the morning, and, in any kind of exigencies, you have a support system in place if you are in regular work. But what I thought was that if not now, when? To have something different, and by then I had turned 50, and I thought it's time to change, because initial 15 years I had this army life, another 15 years I had corporate life, and I thought it's time to enter into next phase of life. So that is how I have, thought of starting a company, and we had different formats thought of, but this was more suiting for that. So my company provides support to hospitals in hospital operations management. Okay, so operations management involves a lot of things, in fact, and most money is spent on manpower, then materials, and also includes your other overheads like transport, electricity, fuel, a lot of these expenses. And these are our daily expenses, and if people have proper systems in place, you can bring it down quite a lot, and at least make hospitals survive. And another reason was that during this time, maybe last 5 years, I've taken a stock of what is happening in Kerala. At least the most literate state and most health conscious state, I must say. A lot of hospitals have been closed down. I mean, the number of hospitals which I have visited, which is closed down, I mean, it is such a horrible, it's like a war scene when you enter such hospitals. Okay, so all unfinished things, somebody has just got up from the bed, it looks, bed sheets are, like not done, and I entered one hospital where, we went to labor room, and you will not believe the birth registry is open and kept, a lot of dust on that last page. I mean, it's so heartbreaking to see, bad management can lead to what kind of loss. It's a national loss, I must say, and no government will come for support. So there is huge requirement of this support in the healthcare, where, they need people's support. And so, I mean, each of these visits, made me realize that I have done the right choice. And of course, there are a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, and there are still people, who look at me. And I have a colleague, she is also a nurse, Mr. Giorgio Sebastian. He had been with me for so many years, 7-8 years he worked with me. And looking at both of us, they wonder, are you a nurse? They ask. I mean, something which pains me is this, that are you really a nurse? Someone asked me, like, I really can't respond to them, because I have to remind myself that I am a consultant and not. If I would have been in regular employment, I would have really seen to them, because they just cannot imagine that a nurse can speak figures and can talk business. It is not within their, thought process probably. So now my next step, probably it will take a couple of years, I'm sure, for me to get settled in this, where I need to expand my team if I have to reach out to more people. I have 5 hospitals right now, and a few more projects are there. When hands full, I must say. that I think in regular job I had my leave and I had my offs and all that. Now that is not there in my dictionary. So I think if I have to expand to other place, I need to expand my team. Well, maybe next year I'm thinking of that. And end of the day, I'm really happy that I'm supporting some hospitals which treat the lowest economic strata people, the government scheme patients. And if little bit of change if I can make over there, I'm sure that will reach those patients. And it is all lowest form of care, but yeah, we do all forms of surgery in that hospital, so it is not that only such posh places things can happen. It is not really so. It's an eye opener. It's a paradigm shift in my thinking, I must say. I guess I have become more humble, I must say that too, because I was very upset when I went to that hospital, and in few days I happened to, some neurosurgeon happened to call me. Okay, so I connected him for finding a job opportunity for him. Someone asked me, so then I poured out to him because he was the only one who used to talk to me quite free. So I said, oh, this hospital is like this, that is not there, this is not there. So he said, madam, the problem is yours and not of the hospital, because he said all his education happened in government hospitals, and he did his neurosurgery from Sri Chitra. He said, go there and see. I've been to that hospital, by the way. He said, this is how every hospital is. This is where actual healthcare happens, not in those air-conditioned rooms where you are used to. So problem is in your brain and not with the hospital, he says. And that made me reflect a lot, and that is true, I realized. Yes, what we know is not the only form of healthcare in this world, right? So there's another side to it, and probably majority of the people are on the other side. So these are eye openers, and well, I hope to reach out to more people of such people where their life can be made little more comfortable for. There are a lot of doctors there too, right? So all of them. So that's what I hope to bring. Be a change what you're hoping for, or talk on the mic. This is what I thought of, and happy to live the dream.
Okay. Great. That is really, really fantastic. And I must say that you also have started reasonably early. And I think this is something that many nurses might be dreaming that, I would like to start something on my own. And I'm sure that you also showcase some of the challenges. One of the things that you stated was that many people ask that, are you a nurse? That is something that we should think about, because this same question has come to me many times. Even abroad, when you go and speak, they will actually ask you whether you are a nurse. Everybody calls Dr. Thankam. As I have to correct them, I am not a doctor, I'm a nurse. And then they'll say, oh, you're PhD nurse. I have to say, no, I'm not even PhD. So I think the talent, the knowledge that one carries, somehow the opposite side, everybody thinks that nurses may not be capable of numbers crunching and understanding business and operations, but that is very much required when you want to become an entrepreneur. If you don't know that, then you will not know what exactly you're going to do. So I'm going to go back to Miss Geeta and ask her that what were the most difficult challenges that you had to overcome when you started so early a nursing home of your own. And so you already have answered a lot of in between questions, so I'm jumping straight to the challenges so that the people who are sitting here, they can get an insight into becoming a nursepreneur. So this is something that you should be prepared for. So ma'am Geeta, what will be your answer to that? What were the challenges that you think that you had to face, and if today if someone wants to start a nursing home, what should they be prepared to face? Ma'am Gita, can you hear me? Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Actually,
can
the
hear you.
main thing is that when you are practicing as a nursing practitioner, the main thing is that you should have a confidence in you. If you have a confidence in you that you can do this, so you are able to do it. The main thing is confidence. So in my period, from so many years, I have gone through lots of difficulties in my center, because I contact diseases also personally myself. And in that, sometimes I am having a problem of postnatal postnatal problems, postnatal bleeding also is there, postpartum bleeding is there with the patient and all. And I don't have anyone with me who can support me. So I do all the nursing and all the emergencies and everything along with the patient with myself, because I don't my to transfer the patient from my area, my clinic to the nursing home where the facility is there, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. So I try to manage myself only to all the difficulties and all whatever is coming in my way. So previously when I started, that time I had lots of problems in facing all these difficulties, in complications due to in the deliveries and all. But now in experience from so many years, at present I think that it is just a little bit, it is just a game, being a doing all these things at present with all my experience with all these things. I have attached with me the neonatal center also, and plus a medical nursing home where if I have any difficulty, I call them and they come with the ambulance comes from there and they take the neonatal child to the neonatal care, and it's just about 5 minutes to my nursing home. And I have a connected with my doctor also. He is a gynecologist, MBBS, MD. And if I have to go through any cesarean or anything, I refer my patients over there. And suppose the way I am working is all slum area where the people are not able to afford much expenses in nursing homes. So if they say that we are able to afford in a nursing home, I go along with them to the nursing home and take my patient over there. And if they say that we are not able to afford nursing home, then I take the patient to a government hospital. My nearby hospital is being there over here, and I take the patient over there along with the patient. I go myself, and there I go and give my introduction that I am an independent nurse and I'm practicing in Delhi, and I show my registration, and then they are very much helpful to me. And my patient is being admitted over there, and all the nursing care and everything is being done in a government hospital. So this type of facility they are giving me, and I'm very helpful with them also. And if the patient is able to pay the bill and all, then I'm referring the patient to a nursing home if it is required.
Okay. So, ma'am, that's a fantastic answer. So, I'm going to summarize what you were sharing. The first word that you used was confidence. If you want to be a entrepreneur, the confidence, and the confidence will probably come from the knowledge of the domain. I mean, whatever that you are focusing, that knowledge, and that gives you confidence. And the other thing that what you told is that after so many years, I am seeing this as a game. I think that's a fantastic feedback. I should say is that वो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई. So I think it is very important to lage raho in the domain. This is very important to feel secure in what you are doing, because there will be competitors and there'll be many people who are doing the same things, because I'm also an entrepreneur now from 2020. So I also learned I cannot do so many things. I have to be focused and I should do what I am comfortable. And I'm not Ajita Sage. So I'm already, when I started, I was 60. So now I'm 63, going to be 63. So I have to recalibrate myself. At what age that we are getting into this being independent entrepreneur, what is that you want to achieve? I think one common thing that is happening is that we all wanted to do something different. All four of us, we wanted to do something different, but very focused. And we are at different stages of entrepreneur journey, I should say. So, Ma'am Geeta, hats off to you. So, I would like to ask one question. In the last 1999 onwards, did you have any major hassle with the government or the law or anything? Did you have any problem like that? Somebody came after you, that why you are doing your independent practice, are you allowed to do that? Because today if someone wants to start a nursing home, I'm not very sure will that is that going to be so easy? I don't know, I'm not very sure. So, ma'am, I would like to you to answer that. Did you have any major problem when you were or being in the slum area helped you because you are, that's kind of a social responsibility that you are helping the people who cannot afford, care. Did that help? So just would like to hear from you on that.
When I started my clinic in 1999, I had a problem. There was a checking from the medical council. Previously also I told you, and then I contacted the registrar and all. Then registrar Surekha Sharma told me that you become a member of Society of Midwives. So in 2005, I became a member of Society of Midwives, which is the head office is in Hyderabad. So the Society of Midwives had helped me a lot in my own problems. Wherever I was facing any problem, they were helping me. And then afterwards, being a very good member of the Society of Midwives, I was selected as a secretary of Delhi. I was the secretary of Delhi in Society of Midwives. And due to Corona, I have given my retirement about 2 years back. I was working as a secretary in Delhi in the Society of Midwives. So Society of Midwives had helped me a lot in this matter.
So from 1999 you had some problem, but after that it was okay, right?
Yeah, after 99, I don't have any problem. Actually, the problem was on that time. So that time, my Society of Midwife had helped me. And after that, I didn't have any problem in that thing.
And what I understand from our discussion last was that you have a very good backup of, a gynecologist and neonatologist, everyone standby in case you have any,
So
yeah.
when I applied in the Indian Nursing Council, when I made a 8-bedded hospital of my own, the Sanil Lata was there, the chief director in Indian Nursing Council, and Mr. Dilip. They told me that you should have a neonatal care doctor also along with you. So there, if you have any problem in the baby when the newborn baby is born, so if you have any problem, you should have a doctor on call.
Yeah.
So on that, so that I have connected. I have talked to the doctors. Dr. Sandeep is here. He is. They have their own setup in Madhipur, which is just about 5 minutes from my area. And he was a chief director in Kalavati Hospital. And he took retirement from there. And then he has started his own nursing home, neonatal care, where they have a 40-bedded nursery of their own.
Okay. Okay.
So whatever, and they have their 6 ambulance. So if you just send a call to them, their doctor on call will come along with that with the in the ambulance, and they will do the neonatal care which has to be given in emergency in my unit also already here. I have all the oxygen cylinder and ambu bag and all the emergency drugs which are needed, like sodium bicarbonate and whatever medicines is needed in the time of emergency. That all I have. IV suction and incubation tubes and everything. So suction and oxygen is started in my clinic to the child, to the newborn. And after that, they are taking the child and we are going to their neonatal care, and there we are admitting the child.
Correct. So I think the learning from here is that you should also create a safety net. Also, that's very important to think a little beyond what you are doing right now to make sure that whatever that you are getting into is, kind of covered. And for that, it's very important to know that where that business stands and what is the stand in the law of the land, whether it is in Delhi and, those things.
My,
That's
my
what I'm hearing from ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm my my clinic is in the main location of Delhi. It is facing the slum area also and plus the port area also. But the patients which I am getting along from the full Delhi, even
Okay.
from the North Delhi, West Delhi, South Delhi, from all the areas I am getting the patients. Actually, the phenomena is like if a patient is admitted in the nursing home, they are planning to do a cesarean to the patient. If a patient is having little bit of complication, because they want to earn money. So that is the stamina in the nursing home. But here, after that, if someone tells them that you go to Gita ma'am, and if cesarean is being posted, and if you go to her, she will do a normal delivery. So
I
in
think
that case,
that is hats off, ma'am. That is what is midwifery is all about. Midwives are supposed to be steering away from cesarean and facilitating normal delivery. I mean, and that's what you had been at the same game for so many years. So you have become a veteran in that field. Hats off to you. I must congratulate you, because whoever comes there will not go for a cesarean section until you decide that you cannot do anything more for that.
and if there is a complication like if there is a pelvic bone or a knitting problem and a transverse lie and all that the position is there. In those cases, I am also unliable to do the normal delivery. If it is a
That
pelvic bone dislocation is there or a transverse lie, in that cases, I also refer my patients for cesarean, because on those cases I am also not liable to do it. But just to tell you, after two cesarean also, I have done normal delivery of the patient.
very good,
After
ma'am. So I think what we are hearing from Geeta ma'am is that there is this saying, no, Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid were not, they did not become Sachin and Rahul overnight. They talk
yeah,
about consistency and practice. So they say it's about 10,000 hours or whatever, mathematics is there. Consistently, you need to do the same thing so that you become an expert in that particular area. And that's a classical sign that ma'am Gita has mentioned. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your answer. So let me just move on to Minakshi and ask her that, so you started somewhere in 2019, not as long as Gita, ma'am, but still, how would you summarize the challenges that you might have
and
faced so far? The question is to Minakshi.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Actually, initially when I started with Vedic mathematics. So everybody used to think, what is she doing? She's a nurse. She's good in doing audits of the hospital. Now with Corona, she has started with Vedic mathematics. So there were people who used to discuss about me that I'm running behind money. But it was not running behind money. It was basically, like the psychology of the children. I used to really enjoy with them. And I learned many things, by teaching to the small children, because even I, as a teacher, I had felt that probably I may not be able to handle the age group, of students from fourth standard onwards, because teaching to a college graduates or college students is different than, teaching to the school children. They have their own mood swings and many other things of it. That was the first challenge that I met. Secondly, everyone used to say, like, you can get job anywhere. There is a requirement in the market. Then why are you not looking for a job? This, of course, my husband never told me this. He has always been supportive. He said, do whatever you want to do. But there were others in my, circles who used to say that, why are you thinking of starting something on your own? And I used to feel that see, when we work for somebody, we are using our energy in, doing something for their betterment. Of course, we also earn, we get that satisfaction, we learn also. But I wanted my own baby to be nourished. So that is what was there in my mind. And more than that, I wanted to make sure that, I'm able to do at least something which will make my mother feel proud about me. And probably, I would be able to at least give Shraddhanjali to my late father, with this. And then when I started with the healthcare courses, a lot of challenges. People started saying, you don't have university affiliation, you're not a subject expert, you're a nurse, as Madam Ajita rightly said. A lot of people used to say that. I said, then I went ahead and I did one diploma in infection prevention as well. Patient safety, I had done a research, so I was confident about patient safety initially to begin with. Then infection prevention, okay, I have the knowledge, but now I have the certificate. That is what I used to show to people. And then I started with small healthcare organizations, started going and giving them free talks so that people understand what is it and what they need to do, so that patients can be, probably prevented from getting nosocomial infections. So that is how the journey started. And then slowly people realized that she teaches infection prevention. So whenever they had an audit, they used to call me and ask me, Madam, can you teach can you give a certificate? Then I said, I will not give any certificate unless I'm sure that your candidate really knows about infection prevention, because I'm also going for audit, so I cannot do that. And then from NABH point also, they were like, you are into teaching, so how can you do these things? You are going to meet so many people, so it is like, conflict of interest. I said, fine, but I want to go ahead with this because I have started something with with a good intention. And after starting it, I realized that really there is a huge potential in terms of online learning in our own field. And as Madam Ajita said, like, in those, during that COVID time, I used to have a lot of free time. So small scale organizations who really do not know how to go about, running a hospital may not be at a expert level as Madam Ajita. But what I used to do is, probably take a help of my knowledge in hospital administration with my MBA in hospital administration, and teach them, what they can do to streamline their processes. And along with that, my byproduct of, teaching infection control used to, go ahead. Then on the World Patient Safety Day, also I had, had held the first workshop where, a lot of people from nearby community were attached. And that time I realized that language is a big challenge, because if I teach in English, they are not able to understand. So I had to, come down to a vernacular language, which they really enjoyed. And many of them, they call and they feel that I'm their mentor. I can see some of my students also in this talk show today. So these were the initial challenges. And of course, there is a long way to go for sunshine returns, because we went and we tried to look for, some land which we can get it at a, cheaper rate, or at there are government, lands which we could have gone. But everywhere, just because we were nurses, we realized that we are not getting that support. Then we decided, now we have decided we will see a rental place and we'll start from there. So that's what we have decided now.
Great.
Thank
The
you.
challenges seems to be the same, because it's an uphill for every nurse. So my entrepreneurial journey is probably in a different domain. So everybody, all of us are in different domains, So so let me come back to Ajita. I'm also aware of the time. It's 9 p.m. So I am very sure, Meenakshi and Maya ma'am, that you will see the sunshine, because that's something I thought about it, that caring for the geriatric patients and people, daycare center, these are all business opportunities that I have discussed. But then obviously you need money for that, and so I decided I will do what I can do without putting money, because I am a single mother, and so I had to take care of my son. And now he's well settled, and he's an engineer, so touch wood. So now I'm okay. So now I'm doing things which are, I'm comfortable and I'm happy doing it, and so I learned that for everyone there are some takers, there are some clients. So you have certain clients, I have certain clients, Ajita has a different client, Geeta ma'am has a different client. Look at the diversity, the the environment that we are working is so different. I have started my company, and my company is this laptop. My entire work is virtual, whether it is consulting, advisory, or it is anything. So anything that I have to do, anything outside the laptop, I will tell them, wait, I'm not sure when I am going to travel. So which is okay. I mean, that's the thing that I have said. But I am so excited to find all three of you. So let me go to Ajita and ask that, how will you just list your challenges when you started your journey? I mean, your journey is the recent one. So what are the challenges? It could be similar, I'm very sure. So let me ask you, apart from, asking that, are you a nurse? Okay, that's definitely a challenge all of us have to overcome. And I think one of the thought that comes to my mind is it because that we as nurses, we are not actually playing at the top of our game? I'm not talking about you or Meenakshi or anyone individually. Majority of the nurses, we are not showcasing our ability around cost and financials and the numbers. I can tell you there are thousands of nurses who have done MBA. I know every single nurse, every second nurse will be doing an MBA. But what is the use when you cannot put it into real practice and think about cost efficiencies in the hospital? So that's probably the reason that Ajita started getting this question that, are you a nurse? Okay. So, Ajita, over to you. What were your challenges? Then we
Ma'am,
will have one last round of question, one tough one, and then we will say bye. Yes, Ajita.
ma'am, talking about the challenges, I think I never had problem with getting a client. Okay, initially few days everybody was switched off because COVID was in the second wave. It hit hard, and people hit hard in the sense not because of the numbers as in the first wave, but people were scared to take risk. So engaging somebody is spending money, and will I get result? So it took a while, in the sense 3-4 months. Okay, so once I started. The challenge, I mean, in the current projects what I have, so I have HIS implementation in few projects, so that is relatively a new one, and I do not um, envisage any challenge there, except that the people have less understanding of what is required to set up an HIS, so they have to do that, right? So we cannot just feed them, so we guide them and they will have to produce that. So it is taking, I mean, the same challenge, like people do not understand the same simple, they do not understand Excel sheet. My biggest problem is that
Right.
how do you do data analysis? The current hospital where I'm sitting in now, this is someone else's borrowed office. Okay, so I'm in a client's place, and the biggest problem what I face in this hospital, the other hospital, everywhere is that especially about the nurses I'm talking about, and in general. Okay, I won't really single out the nurses. They do not understand data analytics. Simple data. They collect truckload of data. This is what happens even in quality in NABH. So they are hassled with the truckload of papers what comes onto them, and they do not understand how you can convert this truckload of papers or data what you have collected into understandable, actionable information. So this is the biggest challenge probably. Like, yeah, to put something in shape takes hours and hours. Because one say, I mean, this I am not really used to, because in our hospitals, at least some systems were there, the number game was there, and it was among everybody. Okay, so this is totally a different place where to understand this is how it has to be done. So that's little taking a while. So I think they have no orientation, and this is not only nurses. Okay, everybody is in the same boat. Like if you ask HR few analytics, they have no clue of it. So every department, and or else you ask finance, how do you interpret or make even a PNL? They have no idea, because all of them do something known as legal finance. The essentials, the taxes and many returns and all that, because if you don't do that, you will be taxed, or you will be punished, or at least query will be there. But rest of the stuff, the business finance, the operation of finance in healthcare, people have very minimal idea. Okay, you ask a CEO, what is EBITDA? They have not even heard of that. Such people are CEOs. Seriously, I mean, how do you run business? So see, what you said a while ago, MBAs do not make you managers, by the way. MBA is just a degree. You read few books, or they will give you ready-made answers, and a few of the questions will be asked from that, and you write that. And the universities or institutions exist today to distribute degrees, because that is also a business, because they need this many. They have targets to meet, and whether the MBAs or PhDs or whatever, has it brought the results on card? So I mean, I was just thinking of my earlier days as a staff nurse when, Madam Geeta Saxena was talking. There are a lot of army guys in this ladies. So all of them can identify. In my first posting at 22 years of age, I had to manage the labor room all myself. There were 6-7 deliveries. And like Madam said, post cesarean, be it anything, you have to do it all by yourself. Okay, you can't say you don't have experience, you better learn it. And this is the story of every lieutenant in the army. And the surgeon will come to the operating table only, that you have to decide this patient has to undergo cesarean, and they will come there, because the operation theater is half kilometer away. Where you have labor room in some place, you have to load the patient onto ambulance and send them along with your ayah. And those days, so many relatives also will not be there. Army families will be very few people. And so this was those days. Okay, so I mean, if you are allowed to practice, I am sure any nurse can pick up, at the level of a nurse practitioner I am talking about. And all that management you only do, but you had the backup of standing orders, and no one ever questioned you, except if things go wrong, then it is a real ordeal, life changes after that. So everyone is careful also at the same time, because you will be taken to task if something goes wrong with the patient. So everyone supports you, but at the same time, you have terrible responsibilities. I'm sure Madam Geeta has faced that same problem, and so this is how midwifery is, at least. And so the similar thing when you come into an independent practice as well in any domain. So making people understand these things is a challenge. How, I mean, nursing, if I say, the real challenge is how any happening or incompetence is related to loss of business. To the connect between the economics of running healthcare and to events, people, or having a positive environment, how it impacts business, and people have very, very minimal idea about. So these all are new things for them, because since we have seen it, all these things are practiced in corporate, only they want to make money, so they are practicing it. I do not know. It is not that these people don't have intention either. That is not the case. But if you want to make business only, you will bring in those management principles in place, is what I feel. One of the hospital where the CEO, I mean, 75-year-old doctor, and generations they had been doctors, but this man doesn't allow patient to be charged. I mean, what do you do with such CEOs? I mean, no, don't ask, don't increase 100 rupees on a procedure. No, he will not allow you. Then how will he? And that hospital is up for sale. And mind you, ma'am, so many hospitals are up for sale. Their hard-earned lifelong earning is that hospital and their goodwill what they have among people. But if you don't apply business principles, these hospitals cannot survive. So making people understand this is a heavy task. Like you may say so many things, but is it all possible? Is what they are, saying. So lot to be done to help such people, and that is what I face as challenge, because you need to have real patience
Mindset. Ajita, having patience, yeah, you are going to learn a lot of patience by being an independent consultant now. I can very much see that. I think I will pick on that to say, it is now high time that nurses have to show their skills around cost efficiencies, knowing Excel sheets, because I do a couple of programs for nurse leaders, and I have been doing this for a long time. So I see that as a lacune in nurses. They do collect a lot of data. You're so right that they are not able to use those information for useful interpretation and then making course corrections. But there is something that is changing. I have seen it since the COVID came. I think there is a demand for nurse leaders to be little number conscious and financial conscious. I'm talking about the private sector. I can see the change. When people come for my classes, I can see that they are understanding, they're wanting to, but still a long way to go, because I think we don't have a mandatory thing that once you become from staff nurse you become a manager, that you have to complete some course. It is not mandatory as of now. That could be the reason. So we are now 9:12, so I'm going to go one round with one set of questions to all three of you. I'll start with Geeta ma'am. Is that what will be your one advice to any nurse who would like to become an entrepreneur in any domain that she selects? We all are from four very different domains, so I'm sure that each will find their passion. So once they find the passion, what would you advise them that they need to have as what should they have in them so that they can make it a success, rather than branch out and then go back for full-time job? That's one fear everybody has, not only for nurses. Even anyone becomes independent, everybody is watching, is that person going to stick on it, or go back to a regular? So I'm sure that there is something that is required there. So ma'am Geeta, what will you advise to those who are wanting to start being their own boss? Ma'am Gita, you are muted. You are muted.
When I had started my independent nursing, there was not rules and regulations were not there. But at present, there are rules and regulations to become a to become an independent nurse. So there are many courses in the universities where there is a courses for the independent nurse practitioner, which has to be taken. And if they go through that course, they can start their own independent nursing practitioner by themselves at present. That is the law at present. In my time, it was not there. And due to the experience and due to the all the questions which were taken by the registrar, I was allowed on those days. But at this time, in full India, I am only the one independent nurse who is practicing as an independent nurse practitioner at present. So if anyone wants to become an independent practitioner, they can go through that course and they can become an independent nurse. The main thing which I told you before, that the main thing is that you should have a self-confidence in you, that you are able to do it. And when you have a self-confidence in you, you will be able to do it. And when you are working in some unit like in a gynae or in a labor room and anything, you should keep your eyes and your ears open all the time and observe what is going on and how the procedure is being done and what are the things which are being in emergency, what are the drugs and what are the things which are being done. So when you are practicing as your own individually, you are able to do that.
Great.
So you
Thank you very much.
always open.
Thank you, ma'am. So what, ma'am, I'm just summarizing is that self-confidence is the first thing that she talked about. Know the law of the land. That's important because right now, no, I don't think any nurse would be able to start a nursing home like the way ma'am said, because ma'am said those days the rules were not there. But today there is a nurse practitioner course in midwifery which is there. So I hope those NPs, they would have the courage and the confidence to start something independent. So we look forward to that. Thank you, ma'am, for your reply, and that definitely clarifies few things for the audience here. So over to Minakshi. What will you advise? Yes,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say to all the audience, if they want to have any kind of help, if they want to become an independent practitioner, if they want to have any kind of help, they can anytime they can call me and take my assistance, whatever they want.
Great. Thank you so much, ma'am. If anyone wants Geeta ma'am's number, just ping me, message me. I will share her number. Thank you very much, ma'am. So let me move over to Minakshi. And what will you say your advice?
Ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. Before I forget, that's the reason I wanted to say this. I just want to tell everyone that please start listing your dreams. And there is nothing that you cannot chase. Chase your dreams and do not, rest unless you are able to achieve at least 1% from your dreams. Dreams may be plenty and nothing is impossible. And don't just think that just because you are a nurse, you cannot do it. You can do anything. Sky is the limit because you have got all the knowledge that is required. You just need to have that courage. And yes, in this era of social networking, we really need to be good with digital marketing, learn those new things, new skills, and learn to apply them. So I think, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have the second C. The first C was confidence. The second C is courage. So there is a saying, don't die before you die. Don't die before you die. That means, you already given up on your dreams and say, what can I do? I had that dream. I wish I could do that. So don't do that. Go ahead. So Ajita, what will be your advice to the future entrepreneurs or nursepreneurs? What is that advice you would like to give them? Ajita, you're muted.
Sorry, the third C is competence.
Great. So we got our 3 C's here. Great, great. So confidence, courage, and competence.
Yeah, so that is, if you have these three elements, rest of things will come. If anyone thinks they don't have money, or there are a lot of people who are willing to invest, okay, but choose them carefully, whatever. But if you have these three elements and willingness to, go beyond the usual stuff, take that extra mile, and also inspire people to join you, because alone you cannot probably do so many things like you do, ma'am. There are a lot of people are there, that much it will be bigger, or reach out to many more people, and you can have so many things. So if you are the best at whatever you intend to do, people will come behind you. Though what Madam Meenakshi said is also equally important, do marketing, and this, especially in her kind of, like if you're an educationist, definitely you need to reach out to more people. But the kind of work what I am doing, I haven't done any marketing so far, because I cannot handle more than this, right? So, or else I will have to expand the numbers, or many more people should be there with me to have more hospitals with me. So it depends on what you're choosing. But in any of those things, these three C's are important: confidence, courage, and competence. And besides this, you have to have a mindset where failures should not bring you down, because there tend to be challenges and failures. I mean, I can't say that I have never thought of going back to a regular job, because that gave me a lot of comfort factor.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the limit of it. I am only crossing my finger that I should be healthy enough to travel so much, and do so many things, and a lot of challenges in that way too. Sitting in one place, I have to handle the other place, and so after 6 o'clock I do that, because you have trail of things what is happening, because I got into operations there, a little bit of it. So so these are all challenges. But if you are in the habit of switching off with your challenges, or when you face problems, then probably think twice, because there tend to be problems. And it is no business will happen without having any challenges. And you think of those people who are at the prime of their business facing serious challenges. I mean, we know a lot of people like that. So if you think of business, or running your own stuff, there will be a lot of a lot of people around you who will pull you down. That is another thing. There will
Tell
be
me about nurses are very famous for that, no? Crab mentality.
because nurses are a section of society, right? So it is there in the society. It is not only among the nurses. Everyone is same. And when I was a chief operating officer, also I have faced this, that there is a lot of people who are waiting to cut you down, or block you, establish that you are not a successful person. So these kind of challenges will be there. I mean, think of a CNO. I mean, even CNOs are facing similar problems today, like the people whom I interact. This wasn't there. I mean, luckily in our time, when you were a CNO, when I haven't faced this problem much, except my last tenure probably, where your own department people will pull you down, and I mean that was unheard of. So probably which affected me psychologically the most was those whom you live for have put you down, not once, many times, consistently. That made me think differently, because I did not have any second objective in my life. And so I had to really think, what am I doing? Am I doing all these to, I had to even go to police station, because there was threat to my life. From the nurses, can you imagine this? Oh, there was union and there was problems. I do agree. But then, people don't mind going to any extent. So that made me think a lot, to think beyond nursing actually. Otherwise, like Captain Usha Banerjee always says that, I want to stay back in nursing, and this is she's very sure about it. Not because, she can't do, you had that same thing, Thankam ma'am. So, I had similar kind of a conviction. I wouldn't have thought of anything else other than being a CNO, or, doing something in nursing alone, till this time where, my own nurses were sitting in front of my room, on a dharna, 350 of them on the corridor. Imagine, they sat there. They did not make any noise and, problems, but they were sitting there, and that hit me hard for so many days. And then I had to rethink about, is this what I am existing for? And all, 28 years of nursing, whatever we have gathered in our brain had vanished right away. So then I had to rethink, reprioritize, and find more meaning in what we do every day. So challenges will ever be there. Challenges will be there from one, because we are women. That is another challenge. Yeah, society has terrible intolerance to women, I must say, whether be it in the working field or when you become an entrepreneur, or when you talk to people, they have some intolerance to women, whatever said and done. Okay, so today's women's day programs I was watching. Okay, so people talk so much on Women's Day, but do they live that in every day? They don't. By the way, they don't. Okay, so bridging that gap is very important. Women are equally capable. Women brain is, though designed in a different manner, but it is not less capable.
Yes,
probably,
exactly.
Probably the women themselves can't stand another woman. So I have faced all this in life. So I don't know, singling out women is right or not. I don't know. Politics is there everywhere. It's not that men don't face that. So everyday new challenges, and you have to live up to it. So that is what courage is all about. So unless you have all this, and probably a good backup, when you are down, if you need someone's help to recuperate, have that in place. If you don't have that and you go down, then this is not your cup of tea. So be choosy, be careful when you venture into something. Dreaming is one thing, making it happen is another thing. And making it happen is a true sign of leadership, is written in the mails underneath of Dr. Saadullah here, where I'm sitting now. I'm sitting in Kim's. So making it happen is the sign of leadership and not anything else, by the way. So making it happen is your determination, your conviction. So whatever we do should be based on our conviction and not because of anything else. Dream is different from conviction, however, or maybe it is same, I don't know. If you can be awake and dream, that is probably conviction. Right?
Yeah, so there is a saying that a dream is that you do when you sleep. Action on that dream is what you do when you're awake. And for that, one word that I would like to add to the C is authenticity. You need to be authentic so that people trust you, that your intentions are very clear what you want to do. People should believe that you mean well for your customer. If you don't like something, you don't want to do it, you can always tell them, okay, I'm sorry, I can't take this because this is against my principle or whatever. I mean, that's the freedom you get when you become an entrepreneur. When you are employee, you are bound by the organization's values, this, that, whatever. Now when you are an entrepreneur, you have your own values. Don't sacrifice them. This is very important. The day you start sacrificing, then you start doubting everything that you're doing. It's a calling. So what Ajita is trying to tell is, if you're afraid of failure, then don't even think about becoming an entrepreneur, because this is very important. And I would say that I have become independent entrepreneur in 2020, but from the time I left Fortis, I had been in the business shoes, though it was somebody else's business, but I was, co-responsible for bringing revenue, etc. So I knew what are the challenges. Suddenly from a CNO, you were sitting on the other side, and we had to listen to the customers before people come to listen to me, because I'm CNO, ma'am this, ma'am that. And suddenly I mean, sometimes you can get very disillusioned. What did I get into? So I think focus, and also think that the 3 C's, I think, is a very good place to start. The courage to follow the path you have chosen, and the conviction to be convicted that this is the path I want to take, and the confidence. And then what was the 3rd C that we talked about? Competence. Yeah, don't get into anything that you are not competent. Never pretend that you have done it or you know what to do. So otherwise, educate yourself on that domain. This is very important. Maybe Meenakshi told that she went and did a diploma in infection control. So I also do certain things to ensure that I'm current, when I'm giving. My only challenge is, whatever that when I train, I just want to make it relevant to my participants. So that's my focus area: relevance. Okay, so you need to be relevant to the call that you have taken. You need to be relevant. All those who want to do something, be relevant in the role. Even you are not an entrepreneur, you are a nurse today in army or anywhere, you need to be relevant so that, you feel good about yourself. So that at the end of the day, you know that I have done my best, So that is what I would say, because we have taken extra time from 9 p.m. on this discussion, and I'm sure one more hour we can easily talk about. So I really have to wind this up, and those who have missed this candid chat, you can tell your friends to catch it on Cygnia Healthcare's YouTube. You will find it there. I mean, maybe tomorrow I will upload it. So a very big thank you to Ma'am Geeta, Ms. Minakshi, and of course Maya Ma'am. Thank you so much. And
Thank
so
you.
nice that you are accompanying your daughter here, and may all your dreams come true. And Ajita, of course, and wish you, each one of you, the best of everything to be successful, because after 10 years people should look back and say, okay, they did it, so I can do it. Like we are looking at Geeta ma'am and saying, yeah, she has done it for so many years. So the road might be tough, but it is less traveled. So take the courage and travel down that path, and don't hesitate. So this talk show is actually to tell people there are different nurses who have broken the bias and did something different. And I totally agree with Ajita that, being a woman, that itself is a problem. Then you are a nurse, that is another problem. I have seen this in my life. I have been to one meeting where it was actually a college of nursing. The owner will not look at me. He will only look at my BD person. He will not look at me. I said, my God, you're decent enough looking, good looking. Why can't he look at me? He will not, because the culture says the women should be in home in Gungat. So, I mean, I have seen such people, and I was horrified and I was so angry that day. But later I learned there is no point in getting angry with those people, because that's their problem, not my problem, right? So I should do what comes to me in the best of my capability, and not get carried away with all this, noises that will come anyway, whether it comes from your own people or from your own family or from your friends or whoever. I mean, there will be enough noise around you. Learn to cut that noise and focus on your dream, and you have chosen something because you want to make it happen. So I will wish all three of you the very best, to be the best in whatever that you have chosen, and we will keep in touch. And those who want to know more about any one of them, do let me know, and you can always find me. Most of the people here, they know me already. And please reach out. I'm sure that all of us will be willing to share our whatever is our experience, and probably tell you that, maybe this is something you should take care. There are more things. I mean, all of us together have a lot of experience as nurses, and then we got into something, so there's much more that we can discuss. So thank you once again to all of you, and all ladies and gentlemen who had taken time to be still with us. It's going to be 9:30. Thank you so much, and kind of tells that, people are looking up for different nurses. Yes, different nurse leaders. So congratulations to all the three of you, and may God bless you to do more things and different things. And please stay and take courage, and don't hesitate to reach out. And Ma'am Geeta already said, if someone wants, they can reach out to her. And I'm sure Ajita and Minakshi and me, we all are available. So we all are available, and we will definitely help you, to help you whichever way that we can. So let's reach out and support each other, and let's not be biased within us. And that's the message I said. Let's break the bias within us. Within us means, as an individual, we may be biased to ourselves, saying, oh, how can I do that? I don't have this, I don't have that. Another one, bias among our nursing community. So let's break all that. Thank you so much to all of you, and Shabak Khair. Minakshi, you wanted to say something?
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to tell them the fourth C, that is collaborate. Let us all come together and collaborate and make this a different thing, like
Great.
together we can achieve more.
Together, very, very, very right. So let's be confident, let's be competent, let's be courageous and let's learn to collaborate. So we got 4 C's here from 4 of us, and so let's come together and have a good night and Shabba Khair and take care and stay safe. And Cygnia Healthcare will try to bring even more innovative things up to you. So take care, and all of you take care. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Maya ma'am. Thank you very much. Ma'am Geeta, thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Geeta
Ajita,
ma'am.
bye. Thank you. Minakshi, bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you,
My
Ajita
family
ma'am.
will be
Thank you,
saying,
Geeta
you say
ma'am.
so many bye, 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 bye. Why do you say so many bye? I said, there are so many people, I have to say bye. Okay. All right. So let's rock, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let nothing stop us from achieving what you want to achieve. Okay. Great. May God be with you and take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.